Hello everyone, welcome to Recursive Gaming and another video series. In this video series I'm going to be presenting Monster Super League. I'm going to be creating a new free-to-play account, and along the way I'm going to be showing you guys everything that you should be doing as a new player in this game. What monsters to use, what monsters to keep, what monsters not to bother with, gems to keep, what gems go on what monsters, all the different stats, understanding everything, how to make fast, efficient progression in this game without wasting resources, okay? And that's important. I just got done playing my previous main account on this game. I've played this game before quite a few times, and I keep coming back to it because it's a really fun game. So I just played another account for about 3 to 4 weeks, and I watched a ton of videos, guys. I did a lot of research. I watched a lot of the older content that exists on YouTube for this game for new players, and even with all that information, I still made a ton of mistakes. So, okay, I tried really hard, and that tells you either two things. Either I'm really bad at this, which is possible, but I personally don't think so, or also that the information that's available is helpful, but they don't give you every single answer, okay? So they still allow for you to make your own choices. And while I appreciate that, on the other hand, because I didn't understand everything I wish I had known, I still ended up making mistakes. I wasted precious monsters I should have held on to. I did a lot of rebirthing when I should have held on to them or released them, because I got a lot of resources for releasing them that I didn't know were so important. Okay, so there's a lot of mechanics in this game that they've added over the years that have changed some things. So new players, I think, should be aware of these mechanics in order to be as efficient with their account as possible. So my goal in this video series is to show you guys how to make progress in this game quickly and efficiently, not waste resources, and I'm going to show you just how free-to-play friendly this game really is. So if you're interested in a free-to-play friendly game, a mobile gacha game that's a lot of fun, it's still very active, the developers are active, they release new content, new events all the time, guys. Every week, every month, there's something coming out. It's a really exciting, fun game with a really active community. You can easily find a very active clan, okay? So there's stuff to do with friends, and there's content to do with your clan every single day. So this is a really, really good game, and I just want to share it with all of you. And I do think that people coming to MSL for the first time need access to better new player guides. So I'm going to be trying to give that new player guide for everyone who needs it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I'm going to create my character here. I'm not going to show you everything in this tutorial because the tutorial, I'll just stick with the default guy. The tutorial is going to be the same for everybody. There's really no choices to make. So we're going to resume this video as soon as I get to the next point where I need to show you guys something. Alright, here we go. Alright guys, here we go, and I just finished the first portion of the tutorial where I can actually click on things and it's not trying to teach me something, so I figured this is a good part of the game to start showing you guys more information. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip all this. It's going to tell me to click on some things, do some more summons. Here is the selective summon. This is brand new in the game. They just added this a patch a few days ago. Okay, so most people before this point didn't have access to this selective summon. So you have a chance to get some really, really great monsters here. You can actually watch all of these one at a time, but the animation's pretty long. If it turns blue, then you got a 4-star. If it turns blue and then gold, you have a 5-star. So we'll do this first one. We'll actually watch the animations so you can get a feel for how good the animations in the game are. If you're, still considering playing the game and you're just watching this, you haven't downloaded the game and you're wondering if you should play Monster Super League, yeah, we'll just go ahead and watch these animations for you guys. There's the, okay, so that's a 4-star. That's an example of a 4-star. It only turned blue. Okay, so we got one 4-star. We got a Cura. Alright, here's next. That's another 4-star. We got Yuki. Wood. Another 4-star. Okay, wait, that's 3 4-stars. That's actually a good roll so far. That's a healer. That's a Wood Cupid. Okay, here we go. That's a Nat 3. Okay. And that's our 5-star. So you are guaranteed one Nat 5-star variant, which is really, really awesome. Most players playing this game are amazed that new players get this. They get access to this. So it's a really, really nice thing. So Persephone, water type variant, is an excellent starting monster for any player. She is one of the top picks I would recommend for any starting player. Okay, so if you're wondering about these icons and why they're like hand-drawn and they look so terrible, it's because it's April Fool's. This is April Fool's event. This happens every year. They do these hand-drawn characters. So every character in the game that you see as part of a cutscene like this or whatever you want to call this is like hand-drawn and really funny looking. So it's just April Fool's. Once this event is over next month, this won't show up again until next year. So if you're watching this and you wonder, does the whole game look like this? No, the whole game doesn't look like this. It's something funny they do for 1 month out of the year. Alright, so it's just showing us how to save the summon results. This is a good summon, so it's a good one to save. I mean, it makes you save the first one anyways, but let's see. Wood Cura, she's okay. She's not great. I would prefer Water Cura. This is also okay. Not fantastic, but good. But Water Cura is probably the best version of the Cura. And then we've got Wood Yuki. Okay, not great. That's a good sapper. Fire Yuki would also be good. I'm actually not going to build Wood Yuki. But you can't be too picky when you're starting out as a free-to-play player, and that's one of the things that we'll get to. In this starting summon, for the 4 stars you get, don't worry about it too much. What you're mostly concerned about is the 5-star. Okay, so we're not going to confirm. We're going to go ahead and preview all 20 summons and then pick our favorite. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip through, okay, by coming up here and clicking skip all. So we have a Water Victoria, which is an attacker type, with defense down at 60%. That's okay. That's not great. Water Wildfang is a really good unit, but she's mainly for PvP. You don't really use her anywhere else. We have a Water Garuda. Okay. This isn't bad. It's not bad. It's usable, but I don't like it that much. I also don't like fire that much. Wood is probably the best version of the Garuda. Allies critical hit rate increase on the leader skill. So we're not going to save that one. We're going to preview and go to the next. Come up here, click skip all. Alright, we got a Wood Sha Wujing. This is a good unit. For a free-to-play player, starting player. Now, it is wood, which is not the element you want. For a starting player, I would recommend water. Wood is okay, but it's going to be at a disadvantage in Golem 8. So actually, fire or water is your best starting element. But if you want a win monster, then this is good because it restores 20% of his own HP and SP. Which means every turn, if he's using his skill 1, he heals himself and also gets that much closer to using his ultimate. It's not really his ultimate, but it's his second skill that does more damage than the first skill and has, usually hits harder, hits more enemies, has different effects. So, yeah. Anything that restores SP is going to make it so that he uses this second skill more often. And then restoring his own HP is really good because he needs a healer less often. So really self-sufficient character, but I'm going to keep Water Purse. So if I click on Save Summon Results, it doesn't save it, it just shows me which one. And then I can save over it by saving the current one by clicking on Save Summon Results and having this one clicked. It will save over my previous one. But I like Water Purse as Water Persephone as a free-to-play player. I think that's a better free-to-play option, so I'm not going to take the Wood Sha Wujing. We're going to go ahead and preview summon. We're going to continue on. That's a 4-star. Fire Hana. That's good. We got a Sura. This is a Water Indra. Leader type is 40% to 45% attack power. Courageous. That's good. It's going to do more damage against high health targets, so a boss killer. And attack down. and he is a balance type. This is actually a solid monster. This is a really good choice. That being said, there is something that the Water Persephone has, which makes her better for a free-to-play starting team. Attackers are not hard to find, guys. When you're going through the game as a free-to-play early game player, you're not going to have any problems whatsoever finding characters that get the job done when it comes to damaging the enemy. Right? You've got way more good attackers to choose from than you do healers. Healers in this game, good healers, are actually hard to come by. So I would rather have a really good healer than an attacker because, like I said, you can get plenty of good attackers in this game very easily. Like lots of Nat 2s and Nat 3s are good attackers. So I'm not going to save over with the Water Indra. We're going to keep going. Okay, so we got a Jean, or a Jean, however you want to say it. And then we got a Fire Persephone. She's a sapper, and she is one of the better sappers in the entire game. So if you're wanting a sapper, also Fire Element is good when just starting out. So she's a good boss killer. She does sap damage. So you can build her tanky, and she's still going to do just as much damage. Most of her damage comes from the saps on the enemy, which is like poison. That causes the enemy to take damage on their turn. So you can build her tanky, and she still does just as much damage, which is great. So she's a good safe pick. If you did not get lucky enough to summon a Water Persephone, I would think the Fire Persephone is a good second choice. So I'm going to keep the Water Persephone, but this is a really good monster. You can build her tanky, she still does damage, and she has some of the better rates for sapping in the game. 2 types of sap for 1 turn with an 80% chance, and then 100% chance for 2 types for 2 turns. So yeah, really, really solid. One of the best sappers in the game. Alright, so we're going to preview some more summons. What is this? Oh, it's a Wood Persephone. I don't like the Wood Persephone as much as the Fire Persephone. Again, for a free-to-play starting player, Wood is at a disadvantage in your starting Golem 8 dungeon that you're going to be farming as a free-to-play player with an early game team. So you actually won't be able to use her as much as you like. You'll build her and use her everywhere else. But then when you start trying to make progress into golems and farming for better gems for your monsters, you won't be able to use her because she'll be at an element disadvantage. So I suggest not taking Wood Persephone here. We're going to continue on. All right, here we go. Ooh, Fire Shinobi. Oh my god, guys. Oh my god, this is tough. I would consider taking Fire Shinobi over Water Persephone. He's that good. Oh man, he is that good. This is what he uses every turn. It's not a skill that he has to build up to. Basically, this is his auto attack. If you're not familiar with Monster Super League, then this 3-star skill is the one that he uses every single turn to build up to using this skill, the second skill. So this first skill is basically his auto attack. So that means every single turn he auto attacks, he's doing a massive amount of damage against bosses. This guy's going to be a massive boss killer. Also, he's going to start out with the variant, and also he's fire type or fire element, which is a great for a starting player. Man, this is so tempting. If you were going to take a monster other than Water Persephone, Fire Shinobi is an excellent, excellent top pick. One of the best picks for a starting player from this selective summon would be Fire Shinobi. That being said, this is an account that I'm going to be doing as a free-to-play challenge. In this series of videos that I'm going to be putting out on YouTube, I'm going to be showing you the best choices, the safest choices to make your most efficient progress as fast as possible as a free-to-play player. Okay, so this guy's end game. This guy's going to help you in Titans, but Titans is an end game activity. You're not going to be building a Titan team for a very long time. This guy will be helpful in a lot of the game, but you'll get more use out of a Water Persephone as an early game player. So I'm actually going to not take the Fire Shinobi. People are probably screaming at me right now who have been playing this game for a while, saying, I have been trying forever to pull a Fire Shinobi and I haven't been able to, and here you have a variant one and you're passing on it. You're stupid. But the thing is, you got to look at it from the standpoint of an early game player. Yes, this is an excellent late game monster. If you're worried about late game and you're going to be playing this game for a long time and you know that, definitely take the Fire Shinobi. Because you can find a healer to replace the Water Persephone, right? You can find a decent healer that will do the job of healing your team. But like I said, he's late game. And I'm going to be showing you how to make efficient, quick progress as an early game free-to-play player. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on. I'm not going to be focusing on the end game, the late game in this video series. So I'm going to pass on the Fire Shinobi, actually. But again, if you're watching this and you know you're going to be playing this game for a long time, the Fire Shinobi is a really, really, really good pick for late game players. All right, here we go. Water Zubaji, or Zubaji. I'm not sure how to say her name. She's a defender type, so high defense, but her skills do not scale off of that defense. So you build her with defense to take advantage of her defender type, but it does not increase her defense. All it does is increase her tankiness. This makes her take even less damage. So she's going to be very hard to kill. And she's going to be stunning. Single target. She's not going to be hitting multiple enemies. I would say stay away from this. This is not a good pick for a free-to-play early game player. This is a terrible pick if you're just starting the game. You're not going to be able to use her very many places. She's not going to do a whole lot of damage. She's mainly a PvP monster for a late game player. Okay. Let's keep going. Alright, that's a 4-star. We got a Wood Hana. Perfect. Wood Hana is the best for late game players. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Hana. Here we go. If you click on the abilities, you can pull up and look at all the elements. So Wood Hana is really good. She does attack down and increases allies' defense. So this is really good for Titans and for bosses, golems, Colossus, you know, stuff like that. Basically where they're going to be hitting super hard, so you reduce their attack and also increase your allies' defense and going to keep your team alive a lot better. That being said, it's more of a late game healer. She does not increase her own SP, right? She does not drain enemies' SP or anything like that, so getting this skill off often is not going to happen. For an early game player, you're going to take her in and then she's going to do very little damage because she's a healer. Right, so she won't be doing much damage. She's going to be landing attack down on enemies sometimes, so it's going to help a little bit, but not very much. And she's only going to be able to use her heal like once during the entire dungeon. And at the very end, when you probably don't even need it. So this defense up buff doesn't even help you. So for an early game player, she's not going to be that helpful. I'm just telling you, she's not going to be super helpful. Resistance down it's okay. I mean, it's good. Resilience is also good. But we're looking at, you know, free-to-play early game mechanics here. This is also good. Unfortunately, she does not have SP generation, so the only heal she has, if you're taking her to heal your team, is this right here. And if she doesn't get lucky with blue orbs, which as you play the game you'll understand how blue orbs work from hitting enemies, if she does not get lucky with blue orbs, she'll never heal your team. Your team will be dying and she will never heal them. And you'll fail because she does not have a way to increase her own SP and bring up her heal more often. And her first skill here is not a heal. Okay, so unfortunately none of these are really good for free-to-play early game players. I mean, she's a fantastic unit. She's meta for a reason. Everyone uses her. There's a guy's YouTube channel I watch where he said he has like 8 Wood Hanas, guys. 8 Wood Hanas because he's building her for Titans. And you need a lot of monsters for Titans. So yeah, she's a great unit, but not for early game players. Fire Persephone again. We're going to pass for the same reason we passed on the last one. Let's keep going. Okay, Fire Garuda. PvP monster, not really good for an early free-to-game player. Free-to-play early game player. Stay away from Fire Garuda and the Selective Summon, in my opinion. Let's keep going. I'm getting good 4-star rates here. 4 stars. Very nice. Fire Persephone, again, unfortunately, that was a really good pool. But we're going to stay away from that because I want element advantage on my starting healer, and I also really like a healer that has a heal on their first skill. This is another top choice. Here we go. Take a look. Weaken is an excellent skill everywhere in the game. It's on his first skill, his auto attack, and it has a very high chance to land for 2 turns. Also, this ability does a lot of damage to bosses and enemies with high HP. So this guy is awesome. Getting a Wood Garuda variant would set you up. So he is excellent for the same reason that the Fire Shinobi is excellent. He's usable in a large portion of the game. He's going to be a top meta unit for most people's teams. I would say he is top 3 of all the people you could summon in the selective summon. Wood Garuda and Fire Shinobi are, top picks, guys. Definitely top picks. If you don't get Water Persephone, and you're not worried about the early game, and you're going for the long game, then Wood Garuda and Fire Shinobi are your 2 top picks. Those are the 2 I would recommend above any other person that you can summon, or any other monster you can summon in the selective summon, would be Wood Garuda and Fire Shinobi. And I was lucky enough to get both of them in the selective summon, but I'm passing on both of them for the Water Persephone because, again, I'm focusing on the early game free-to-play advantage. Okay. Here we go. Sha Wu Jing. Water Seal. That's mainly for PvP and like Tower of Challenge. Resistance down is good for monsters and bosses. But I would stay away from this guy. I would say stay away from Water Sha Wu Jing as a free-to-play early game player. Almost done, guys. Well, Fire Persephone again. They really want me to take Fire Persephone, don't they? Here we go. Fire Sha Wu Jing. Alright, so this guy is the exact same setup as Wood Garuda that we just saw. Same exact chance to land. Weaken on the skill 1. Courageous Strike on the skill 5-star skill. And then critical hit rate on the leader skill. So this guy is really, really good for the same reason as Wood Garuda. So again, top 3 picks. Right? If you can't get Water Persephone and you're playing for the end game and you want a character that's going to be good everywhere, Fire Sha Wu Jing, Wood Garuda, and Fire Shinobi are going to be your top 3 picks. So again, we're skipping him, even though he would be a really good choice. We're skipping him because I want a really solid healer that's going to help me progress through the early game as fast as possible. Fire Garuda, stay away. Not a good choice. Alright, so Water Shinobi. Really strong, but he's a single target attacker. Okay, so because he has such a high amount of SP boosting, which is 50%, so he should only have to attack twice, and then he gets to use his 5-star skill, which is going to be usable against any element, including the element that he's weak to. So he's going to be a very, very solid, very strong single target nuker. Okay, but he only attacks single target. And what you want is wave clearers. Okay, so what you want is morale boost to increase SP along with an ability that does a lot of damage against entire enemy groups. That's what you want as a free-to-play early game player. That's what you're looking for. I would actually not pick Water Shinobi as a starting player. Not a good choice. In fact, Fire Sha Wu Jing, Wood Garuda, and Fire Shinobi would all be better picks than the Water Shinobi. I did not mean to do that. Okay. What do we get here? Ooh, okay, cool. Jormungandr. The leader skill I do not like. Oh, 1 second. Alright, okay. Hopefully that wasn't too loud on the microphone. So I do not like the leader skill as much as the other monsters with crit chance and with HP. Also, I prefer if she was going to have Curse, I would prefer Curse on skill 1. And this only shields her, right? So this only shields, or him, or whatever. It only, only shields the snake. It doesn't help the team, all right? Does not help the team, and this should be on skill 1 if it was going to be more usable. No. This is not a good pick for early game player. Oh, no 4 stars at all. And we've already seen this guy. Not a good choice for a free-to-play early game player. Alright, what is our last choice here? Alright, Wood Sha Wujing. I saw this guy earlier. Yeah, really solid choice, but not recommended. Wood Garuda is better. Fire Shinobi is better. The fire version of this guy is also better. Those are the top 3 I would recommend. Not this guy. Although he is good. If you don't get Fire Shinobi, if you don't get Wood Garuda, and if you don't get the fire version of this guy, then this guy is a solid choice, okay? That being said, my top choice is the Water Persephone, okay? Confirm summon. Yeah, we're choosing the Water Persephone right here. That is my recommended choice for the early game free-to-play player. I'll explain why in a second when I look at her skills. Alright, so we completed the tutorial. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. It says enter a story stage. We're going to go ahead and start all of these quests, get all of these resources. Alright, so before that, I want to show you guys why I chose Water Persephone. This right here, this is extremely rare. This skill right here is extremely rare and very valuable. Attacks restore allies' HP in amount equal to 10% of own max HP. So she's already a balance type, which has decent HP. I prefer if she was a tank type, which has a lot of HP, but balance is also good. It means that she's going to have decent attack, defense, recovery. She's going to have balanced stats, basically. So you could give her attack and she'd still be useful. But I would stay away from that. So I would build her with as much HP as possible. And she's going to be useful. She's going to be healing your whole team every single turn. She won't have to generate SP to get up to an ultimate. Your team's going to be strong and healthy, and all she has to do is attack. Okay? So, like, this skill alone makes her amazingly worth it, especially when you're building into your first golem team. Okay, so progressing into element dungeons, starstone dungeons, golems, and all of this, as an early game player, your biggest... The most trouble you'll face, your biggest challenge is going to be healing your team. If you don't have damage dealers that heal themselves, as in a self-sufficient team that heals themselves as they attack, then you need a healer. But the problem is most healers rely on their second ability, okay, which only goes off once they have enough SP. If you don't have enough blue orbs coming in, then they never use the heal, your team dies, you lose. So it's very RNG, okay? You could have a really good team, but you're only losing because they need to be healed. So you build a healer and you put it in the team, but like most healers, it doesn't generate SP, and then it only has a heal here in the second skill, and it just never uses the heal, or it doesn't use it on time, and you lose. So this skill right here is going to make it so that I don't need to build a separate healer. I can just build Water Persephone. She's going to be good everywhere for my entire team, no matter what dungeon I'm in, and all she has to do is survive, which is easy because she has lots of HP, and she just heals on every turn. So amazingly good. Also, it increases up to 15% of her HP. So yeah, and this increases with skill books up to, hold on, 20 extra percent, 100% chance to petrify the entire enemy team, because this damages all enemies on the enemy team. Just such a very strong healer for your starting team. I also got 3 4-stars. I got a Cura. This is not a good version of the Cura, and it's also a healer, and I already have a healer, so I will not be building this Cura. Cupid, also a healer, a strong healer, but does not increase his own SP. This sounds good. Extra red souls sounds good for healing your team, but it's not, because the red souls are random, and the red souls do not necessarily go to the lowest health friendly on your team. It doesn't necessarily heal who it needs to, so it's very RNG, and I don't like it. So I will not be building the Cupid. The Yuki is decent. But there are lots of Nat 3s and Nat 2s that are going to be better. So I'm actually not even going to build this Yuki. So all 3 of these 4 stars that I got, I'm pretty much not going to build. They'll be fodder for something else. So my starting team I'm going to be clearing all these quests with is Water Persephone, Fire Miho, and this is a healer, so I actually am not going to use or build Siren because Water Persephone is going to be so much better. So Fire Miho, Water Persephone, and who else did I pull that's good? Let's see what this is. HP regeneration? No, he doesn't need to heal himself. He's got Water Persephone to do it for him. This guy's reliant on crit. He only lands the sleep on critical hit, so that's not good. This is also an HP restore, not good. Fire Lat, not good. Really, none of these are very good. Seedler is about the only one here I'd bother building, but even then, the rates are so low. 60% and 40%, not good. Those are not good sapping rates. So I'm not going to really be using Seedler. Yeah. If you fully booked, it's better. But that's so far away as an early game player, it's not even worth mentioning. So yeah, I guess for starting team, I'll be using Seedler, Water Persephone, Fire Miho, and maybe one of the 4 stars, just because they're going to have higher stats because they're a 4-star. But yeah, not worth even really mentioning. Okay, so here is the Astro Guide. The Astro Guide is really important because you get free gems. You get free gems every time you update this Astro Guide with a new monster. Okay, so 10 free gems, right? If you Evo this to Evo 2, you get another 20. If you Evo it to Evo 3, you get 120 gems. So every time you encounter a new monster or Evo a new monster, you get free gems. You can click on Accept All, so you don't have to hunt them down. And that's really helpful. So look at how many gems I have as a starting player already. 500. And I haven't even really played the game yet. All I did was selective summons and I finished my tutorial. That's all I've done, and I already have that many gems. This game is really free-to-play friendly. Okay, so I can watch an ad and get these, but I won't do that on screen. Okay? We'll do that. I'm going to save this energy, by the way. I'm going to wait until I run out of energy, because this says 29 days until it expires. So, I'm going to wait until I run out of energy, and then I'll use that. Just so that I'm not wasting energy. You can click on these, okay? And I do recommend every time you come back, go ahead and click on these. It may seem like it's not much, but if you do it every single time you see these, it adds up over time. If you do this every single day, several times a day, and you add that up over the course of a week, you got a lot of free stuff. So it's worth getting those. If you click on these are active players that are also playing and are online right now. So if you request, you're likely to get this person as a friend because they're not inactive. This only populates with players that are actually online and active. So if you see somebody walking around, go ahead and click on them. It's likely to be a person who will accept you as a friend. Okay. First step is to go here. First thing I want you to do in the game after you're done with your selective summons and you're at this point is to come down here to the special shop where you do your summons, okay? And then I want you to go down here and click on the free and then come over to here to go to trinkets and click on the free down here in the bottom. Do both of them. You can do 3 of these per day for each of these. And this one down here on the right you can do once a day, I believe. Actually might be once every, yeah, it's like once every 2 days, maybe 3 days, because it's not available over here for the monsters for another 2 days and 10 hours. So watch the ads, get all your free summons out of the way. It's going to help your account to do these free summons and watch the ads every single day. You can also do this. If you come up here and you click on the plus mark next to the energy, you can get a lot of free energy, 150 energy, by watching an ad. You can do this twice per day. 0 of 2 per 1 day. So come up here, do this, get your free energy. You don't even have to wait till you run out. It'll just overlap. So if I did it right now, it would be 150. I'd have 200 energy. So it's worth doing it, guys. Don't forget to watch your ads and get your free 300 energy per day. Come up here to your gold. Do the same thing. If you click on the gold, refill, you can watch and get a random amount between 50,000 and 300,000 of gold per day. Do this every day. Come up here to the Astro Gems. Get free Astro Gems every day. Watch this ad. Okay, so first thing, you log in, get your free summons. Okay, watch the ads, get your free summons. come up here, get your free energy, your free gold, and your free astro gems, and then go ahead and play the game. So what I'm going to be doing before the next time that you guys see me is I'm going to be playing the quests. Okay, so that being said, there's a contract event that shows up pretty soon. I'll be able to create a contract with a monster, and that's really important for new players to know what contract to take. So that'll be the next thing I show you guys, but for now I'm going to go ahead and just play in quest, and you'll see me when we get to that contract. Alright guys, really quick tip as I'm about to start questing, I forgot to mention, this is really important. In order to fill that astro guide that I showed you before, okay, there's a really important section of it for getting free gems, okay? The capture portion, this is all where you get to see, like, you get free gems, right? I did my free summons while watching the ads, and I got this guy, so I'll go ahead and get those gems, right? So come over here to capture. And the Phantom Forest Collection, right? The first chapter that we're doing right now, I have yet to capture any of these. As soon as I capture all of these, I get 60 free gems. Then the next area. So all you have to do is capture every monster in that area at least once, okay? And this repeats for every area in the game. However, when you go up in difficulty from normal to hard to extreme, you don't need to recapture them. So if you're just going through on easy mode like I am, or normal, and you just capture all of these at least once, then you're done, right? You get these gems, you don't have to do it again for the rest of the game unless you're trying to capture a bunch of monsters, farm and capture a bunch of monsters to Evo 3 one, right? So unless you're trying to Evo a monster by getting a bunch of copies, then you don't really have to capture this one again if you don't want to use it, right? You only have to do it once. So while you're on normal mode playing through on your first missions, take the time to capture one copy of all of these and get your free gems. All right, so that's something to keep in mind as you're going. Otherwise, you'll have to backtrack. You'll have to come back here. What did I miss? What did I not pick up? I forgot to get a bat. So you got to go back to the Mirage Ruins. You got to capture a bat. So it's easier as you're clearing it for the first time on normal mode, just to capture one copy of all of these monsters as you go through and get your free gems. All right, so that looks like this. Okay, I'm coming here. I see I need to capture a green slime, a water slime, and a wood scorbus, right? So the game's going to be having you capture certain monsters as part of the tutorial, so you don't need to capture more of them, right? It's going to have me capture right now, as soon as I start this, it's going to have me capture a variant scorbus, I believe. Fire Miho. Anything else? Nah. There's the Bloom. And we'll take a Nat 4. We'll take the Yuki. Okay. So we'll go ahead and go in. And it's going to have me capture, I think, a variant Squirrus. Or maybe a rare Nat 3. So I'll go ahead and use one capture on a slime. If I can get it on one chance. We'll get the blue. Nope, it resisted. So I'll use one more. I'm going to save one in reserve, just in case the game has me do a capture quest. Okay, so I got a blue slime, so that's done. Right? Don't ever have to do it again if I don't want to. We'll go on auto. We'll just let them clear this. Okay, I'm not going to capture anything on round 2. I'm going to save this. It might not have us capture the variant Squirrus until, you know, another mission in the future, but I do know that's coming up. So with this last catch, I'm actually going to try and capture a wood slime. So I'm actually going to stop the auto. Alright, so there's no capture quest here, and I don't need another water slime, so I'm going to go ahead and capture this Squirrus. Let's get it out of the way. Squirrus is one of the recommended Nat 2 stars to Evo 3 in the beginning of the game anyways, so it's not a bad idea to Evo 3 a Squirrus. Okay, so captured a Squirrus, that's done. Alright. Alright, so I captured a water slime and a wood Squirrus. Excellent. We got 1 million gold. That's awesome. Alright, and I was going to have us attempt to catch an Astromon, which we were going to do anyways, right? Because we still need to capture some other things for the Astro Guide. So I still need a wood slime. So there he is right there. I can still get him. And I've captured the other two, so don't need to capture anything if I don't have to. It's a good idea to capture a bunch of Squirruses, though. Like, this is a variant Squirrus. It's not fire, it's still wood, but it's a variant, so it has a different color pattern. See, it's green in the little bubble. It means it's a wood type, just like this guy. And the only reason it looks different is because it's a variant, which just means it has a leader ability, and this one doesn't. So we'll go click on catch, and it wants us to capture this, which we do want a variant anyways. If we're going to Evo 3 a Squirrus, it makes sense to capture a variant, right? I'm going to save my last two. I'm going to try and get a wood slime to complete that capture Astro Guide quest. Nope. I'm going to pass these guys up. There's plenty of opportunity to catch all of these that you want later on. You don't have to do it in your first try. Now watch this. Oh, never mind. She does her ultimate here. But I was talking about her skill 3 healing the whole team. I'll show you that in a second. Okay, so no slimes. I'm going to go ahead and capture a Squirrus if I can. But there was no wood slimes there to capture, so no reason to let these capture coins go to waste. And I am going to try and Evo 3 a wood Squirrus, so might as well capture all those that I can. Yes, nice. We had good luck. Very good luck. All right, we'll go ahead and finish that guy off. See down here, the red number or the green numbers popping up. Those green numbers you saw pop up when she attacked was her healing the whole team every time she hits the enemy. So very strong. Okay, nice. We got a gem, and we completed that quest as well. Alright, so we got 10 energy. Nice. Now it wants us to use 3 energy. We were going to do that anyways. We click on next stage, and we still need to capture a wood slime. There are no wood slimes in this stage, so I know I can't capture a wood slime, and that's what I still need. I'm going to back out and make sure there are more wood slimes. There are not, and I still need to capture a wood slime. So there might be wood slimes on this last stage. I'll go ahead and take the chance. I'm going to do the 5th one. I'm going to try and capture plenty of wood Squirruses, but I'm hoping there's going to be a wood slime on this 6th story mission, so that way I can finish off that capture quest. Is there anything worth? No, not really. I do need to start leveling up the wood Squirrus, but I also want one of the square slots, and I'll explain that later. So we can actually take a look at that here. If you hold down on it, it pops up, and you click on the little gem icon down here, you can see what gems it has. So I'm not going to level that one. That one has 2 square slots, so that's a good one. Square slots are important. I can explain that later. And this one, no. So this has 2 square slots, so this is a good choice to level. But I'd prefer 3 square slots if I can get it. So I'm going to hold off on that. And because you're going to be capturing a lot of these wood Squirruses in order to Evo 3 a Squirrus. Squirrel, right? It's a squirrel. Anyways, so I'm going to have plenty of opportunities to find a green Squirrus with triple square gems. So there's no point in choosing this one to level because I might get a triple square one later on. So anyways, we will just go ahead and continue and capture more Squirruses. Catch. Alright, I'm actually going to pause and then resume when we get through this stage because you guys don't necessarily need to watch all of this boring stuff. Alright, nice. Good luck. Alright, so I'll go ahead and resume. Okay, so we finished that, and we finished that quest, and now it wants us to feed an Astromon fruit. We can go ahead and escape this and feed the fruit and then come back and continue, but not really necessary. But then again, the next quest is to complete Phantom Forest on normal, so we might as well complete these quests and then come back come back to finish the Phantom Forest. So I will resume this video when we come back to finish this last quest in the Phantom Forest. Actually, psych, decided to go ahead and show you guys this content. So when it comes to feeding Astromon fruit, I recommend feeding the ones that you actually care about leveling. Don't just throw it on any old Astromon to complete the quest. I want to level up my Persephone as fast as possible. The more HP she gets, the more this does for the team. She heals every turn. So I'm going to feed her the fruit. And it wants us to do it 3 times. We completed our daily quest, but not the quest for the new player. So we're going to feed her 3 fruits, and then we claim that reward. Okay. It gave us a full gem set. 4-star gems. Very nice. Now, unfortunately, we're going to equip this monster with gems. And HP is great for her because HP is what she needs, right? It's going to make this skill more powerful, so always give her HP. That being said, this starting set, HP plus 2500, you want to replace that as soon as you can. Also, recovery is mostly a dead stat. I don't recommend recovery. Also, she does not have a heal in her ultimate spot, guys. She has a heal attached to her first skill whenever she attacks, but she doesn't actually have a heal. So recovery does not increase the amount of the heal. The recovery stat is useless for every monster in the game unless it has a heal. So Cupid has a heal. Here it says heals all allies, okay? This benefits from the recovery stat. The more recovery you have, the more this will heal for. This heal is not based off his HP or his attack or his defense or anything. It's based off his recovery stat. So this gem with recovery percent, the only person that you should be putting this on, or the only monster, are monsters with heal in the second skill, okay? However, it's not recommended, okay? So you shouldn't be building a healer monster with full recovery. At most, sometimes you might want to give them 1 recovery gem, but for the most part, you're supposed to be building your mons or your monsters as tanky as you possibly can. Alright, so most of the time, you'll see YouTubers recommending you build your healers as a full tank. Alright, so like HP defense resist or HP defense, something like that. Most of them don't ever recommending putting recovery on your healers. It's just, it doesn't increase it that much. You're better off having your mon last a lot longer and be a lot tankier. So for the most part, this is a worthless gem, and I can go ahead and sell it right now. Alright, I'm only interested in these other 2 gems. Now, you can keep it just to complete the set bonus, but what's the point? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and equip her with a gem. I want HP on her, so we're going to give her the HP gem. I don't want the attack percentage gem on her. I'd rather have it on an attacker. So we get the free gold. Excellent. We can upgrade a gem 1 time. First, I'm going to go ahead and complete the set, though. I'm looking for an HP again. Recovery is a worthless stat, but this is the only HP gem, so we're going to give her the HP. And then again, we're looking for HP. There you go. Excellent. Okay, so I did those free summons, right, for the trinkets. So I have free trinkets put on her. I can put an anti-crit resist on her. Why not? And I can also give her some attack. Why not? Attack is better on an attack monster, but she's not a pure healer, guys. She's a balanced monster, so she's still going to be doing decent damage. Like, for instance, she has 409 attack. Let's look at an attacker monster. This is a tank. Miho, for instance, only has 320. Quite a bit less than Persephone. Now, some of that is because of the 5-star versus the 3-star, but still. Let's see, here's an attacker. This attacker monster has 289 attack. Persephone has 409. So she's our healer, but she's not actually a healer. She's a balanced type monster, and this ability hits enemies. It doesn't heal your team, right? This is the only part of Persephone that heals your team. So she becomes a better healer the more HP you give her, which is why we want to do that. So for the quest, we need to upgrade gems. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this gem to... we get quests later on to upgrade gems, so we can go ahead and only do like 3 now, but what's the point? Might as well just get it out of the way. We've got 1.1 million gold, guys, so we can complete this and we can go complete Phantom Forest, but I'm going to go ahead and get these gems to +9. 4-star gems with HP percent are going to be great, and I'll resume the video as soon as that's complete. Alright guys, so I just finished getting all of these gems to +9. And she is now +11k HP. So she's going to be healing for a lot. Basically, she's going to be healing for 10% of 16,000 HP, which is, what, 160? So 160 heal is a good amount of this person's health, right? So it's going to be healing the entire team by quite a bit every turn. And as she levels up, that only becomes even more and more and more until it's quite a bit. Anyways, so that's that for now. We've completed those quests. Let's go ahead and continue the quest line. I'm looking again for, in this final area, it doesn't tell me everything that's in here, because it's not just the boss monster. You have to fight through 3 waves of monsters to get to the boss. So I'm hoping to find a green slime, because I still have not captured a green slime, if you remember right. I captured the water one, but that was it. Okay, so let's go in here. And if I have extra capture tokens, then I'll use them on another Scorus. So let's see, do I have any other monsters I'd like to level up? Not really. Still nothing new. I did capture a bunch more. We can check for the square slots later, but here, let's go. Let's do this. Let's see how much she's healing every turn she attacks now. Alright, so we will catch. Good, it gave us a Miho. This is part of the tutorial, so you are always guaranteed to capture this target. Every now and then, as a new player going through the normal mode in the story, you're going to come across these rare monsters. Make sure you do this because it's going to give you pretty much a 100% chance to capture these on the first try. See? So yeah. Take advantage of that. Alright, so now I'm going to capture the wood slime. Nope, I'm not. That was a 60% chance. Now it's an 80% chance. If I miss this, that I kind of deserve that, actually. I've had good luck so far. Never mind. My good luck continues. Okay, so we captured the quest target, and we also captured the final piece to that capture quest for the starting area. So we're going to have to skip all these Scoruses, unfortunately, but that's okay. Oh, I forgot to look. That's a lot. That was way more than I thought it would be. 10% of 16,000 is not 160. What was I thinking? Apparently it's 1,600. Yeah, my math was off by a full 0. That's a lot of healing, guys. So she's healing for like almost a third of my monster's health. Of the other monsters on the team, a third of their health every single turn. They just won't die. So she will carry you. Absolutely carry your team. Okay, so go ahead. Auto, guys. Yeah, 1670 is what she's healing for every turn. That's insane. Alright, so watch the damage. Now watch how much she heals. Boom. Right back up. She'll carry your team, guys. Water Persephone is great for the early game free-to-play player. Top recommended choice. Alright, so got some stuff. Let's complete the quest and go back, and I'll show you guys some more stuff. I hope we can do the contract now. I'm not sure when the contract comes up for the starting player, but I think it might be now, after you've finished the first chapter. Yes, okay, contract of a hero. This is a lot to talk about, and this will conclude the video. Every time I come up on something I want to talk about, I'll make a new video for you guys, but I think day 1, this video is going to conclude with this contract, because there's a lot to talk about in this game, and this video will be 5 hours long before I know it, so I just want to knock this out of the way, and then end this video, and then you guys can pick up on day 2 and watch the next video after that. So, let's start with the contract. You have 4 contracts. You can pick a Super Gleam, okay, which is basically an Evo 2 Gleam. This represents 4 heroes, okay? So normally, and I'll go through this in a second. Actually, before I do this, it's important that you guys know what Evoing is, evolving, okay, evolution, what it is, how it works, because you need to understand the importance of the contract you're about to choose. So we're looking for square slots, right? Remember, recommend square slots. So look at all these. This guy has 2 square slots. We'll lock him. We're looking for more square slots. I'm not seeing any. The variant does not have square slots. Okay, so let's go ahead and evolve our locked guy because he has the most square slots out of all these. We'll do evolution. We'll just pick 3 at random that we didn't lock because they weren't good enough. We'll do an awaken. So now he's +3. All right, Evo 1 +3. We do evolve, and it sends him to Evo 2. You see this little animation, and his whole character model changes. He becomes totally different. Okay? Alright. Now he's Evo 2. His stats have gone way, way up. Alright? Now I still want to get a Scorus with triple square. So as I capture more Scoruses, I'm going to be looking for that triple square, and if I find one, I will lock it, and that will be the one that I take to Evo 3. Okay? So far, I don't have any triple squares, and I'm not taking any of these to Evo 3. That's the plan. I'm still going to be looking for that triple square. But that was Evoing, alright? So you need 4 copies of a monster to take it to Evo 2. You need the original, and you need 3 copies. Alright, so I can't evolve using these guys. Why can't I use these copies? Because they are Evo 1 monsters, guys. You can only evolve an Evo 2 to Evo 3 with 3 Evo 2s. Alright, so you need 16 copies of a monster to take it to Evo 3. Right, you need 4 for the original to get to Evo 2, and you need 4 for the next Evo 2, 4 for the next Evo 2, and 4 for the next Evo 2. All 16 of those monsters makes one monster in Evo 3. Alright, so you need lots of copies of monsters to make an Evo 3. Now, how do you get around that for Nat 5s? Because obviously it's very difficult to get 16 copies of Persephone, right? How do you get a Nat 5 Evo 3? Nobody gets a Nat 5 Evo 3 using copies of that monster, guys. Like, they need 4 copies of a Nat 5 to make an Evo 3 Nat 5 because they use what's called gleams. All right, so we're going to go take a look at this contract, and we're going to take a look at those gleams. Where's the contract? Where? I forgot where it is. How do you get to it? I can't remember. Oh, here it is. Down here, bottom left. No, that's the quest, isn't it? Okay, so wrong one. There it is. Okay, so it just popped back up. Can't remember where to get to it from the menu, but if you just leave and go back to the story and then come back, it'll pop up again because you haven't selected one yet. So you have 3 choices for all these contracts. You have fire, water, wood, and then you have 3 lights and 3 darks. And then here you have a super gleam. Okay, so these contracts, you might be looking at them being like, I want a fire Arthur and a light Valkyrie and a dark Odin. Because you do a lot of research, you click on these, right? And then you click on this little question mark and it shows you, do a lot of evaluation. You're like, which one do I want? Which one? I like the abilities of this one, but not this one. So I'll, you know what I mean? And so you mix and match to find your favorite ones. That is an option. However, it's going to be so long before you can even use this Nat 5 to progress your game that it's basically going to be useless sitting on your shelf, never being used, while you use Nat 3s and Nat 2s to progress your gameplay. Alright, you won't even get to use this Nat 5 after you get it until you've gotten it to at least Evo 2, possibly Evo 3. And it's going to take you so long to get enough copies of Valkyrie to actually make that happen. So don't do this, guys. Don't come in here to these contracts and pick your favorite ones and mix and match. Alright? Pick 3 of your favorite. If you want Arthur, go all in on Arthur and get 3 Arthurs. Alright? If you want Odin, get 3 Odins. A dark, a light, and a wood. If you like Water Valkyrie, then get 3 Valkyries. Okay? And your goal is to use these copies that you get to feed into your favorite version. I recommend feeding into a light or dark because they're much more rare and hard to get. I would not recommend feeding a light or dark into one of these. Okay, so know that based on what I'm recommending, no matter which one of these you pick, it's going to be food for one of these 2. All right, so you want to pick 3 of the same. Okay, that being said, you can come down here and you can pick a super gleam, right, based on the element that you chose up here. If you choose a fire Arthur, pick the fire super gleam. Water Valkyrie, pick the water super gleam, and so on. Okay, that's just making sure you're getting the most out of these contracts so you can efficiently Evo 2 and Evo 3 your Nat 5s that you chose without too much effort and without needing to pull multiple copies from the gacha. Okay, so that's how you're going to get the most out of this contract system. That being said, let me just tell you what I recommend. Okay, let's exit here, and we're looking at Arthur and Odin and Valkyrie. Go to the Astro Guide. So we captured ghosts, guys, remember? So we've got all 3. The only thing we didn't capture was this rare Kokomaru. As soon as we capture a rare Kokomaru, we will have completed the Phantom Forest collection, okay? Because we got those 3. So we got the blue slime. We go ahead and get our free Astro Gems. And then we got the Squirrus at Evo 2 just now. So we get the Evo 2 Wood Squirrus as well as the slime, right? So we got more gems there. All right, so let's look at the Fire Arthur. And I had to come to the Astro Guide because I want to show you guys Super Evolution. Super Evolution is super important. Here we go. Okay, so this is an Evo 3 Fire Arthur at level 60. Those are his stats. Ultimate Evolution, down here on the bottom right. This is his main stats that we saw before when you clicked on the little question mark and the contract page. If you come here, click on Ultimate Evolution, and then you click on the skills again, you see this new setup here. It says King's Qualifications. This is his ultimate. It damages all enemies. Okay. Down here is the ultimate skill that he gets. Attacks against any water Astromon, which is his element that he's weak against, are treated as that enemy's elemental weakness. This means that you can take Fire Arthur everywhere, and he will be useful everywhere. Now, he'll take more damage, and he'll be focused by the enemy if you take him in against a water dungeon. So, for instance, if you take him into Water Golem or Water Elemental Dungeon, then he'll be focused by the enemy, right? He'll take more damage because they're focusing him, but he will also do just as much damage because attacks against any water Astromon are treated as that enemy's elemental weakness. So he doesn't basically have a weakness when he's attacking. That's great, right? That's a great super evolution. If you wanted to super evolve your Fire King, your Fire Arthur, then he has a great super evolution that makes him not weak against water, right? So that's great. At least when he's attacking. When he's being attacked, he's still weak against water, by the way. That's important. So that super evolution is good, but it's only good some of the time, and I still would not recommend taking him into his weak element. Don't take him into a water dungeon or a water golem and expect him not to die right away because he's weak against water. They're all going to focus him, he's just going to die in the first or second turn. So he's still actually not as good as you might think, even though his ultimate makes it seem like he's not weak against water. He's still weak against water, guys. It's just doesn't affect him as much when he's attacking. So this sounds good, but it's not as good as it sounds. All right, so now we go, because we also have a Light Arthur and a Dark Arthur, right? If we go to Light Arthur, he also has a super evolution. If you're looking at this in the future, by the way, what I'm about to show you may have changed, so keep this in mind. If I click on Super Evo, look at his evolution skill here. Upon using a super skill, applies a self buff that ignores 70% of the enemy's base defense. So his super skill is going to hit 70% harder, guys. That's a massive buff. His super skill is going to basically wipe the floor with anything in the game. His super skill is going to make him one of the hardest hitting monsters in the entire game. That's huge. He's going to hit so hard with this super skill. This is useful all the time. It doesn't buff him whenever he's over here using these abilities, but every time he uses his super, no matter where he's at or what he's facing, this ultimate skill is going to make him hit like a truck. Okay, so really good, right? Excellent. What a really good ultimate skill. Usable everywhere, all the time, always helpful. Awesome. Let's go into Dark. Dark Arthur. Great. This increases his critical hit rate by 40% when attacking light Astromons. Wait a second. That doesn't sound good. It's not, guys. This is not a good ultimate skill. All right, so Dark Arthur, don't waste your ultimate skill on Dark Arthur. I mean, you might want to, if you have a Dark Arthur, then you might want to ultimate evolve him anyways for the increased stats, and like it might be nice to have. But to be honest, you're not going to be taking your Dark Arthur in against weak element anyways, unless you're trying to use him as an off element tank, which is a viable strategy that we'll talk about later. So, yeah, I mean, that could be a thing. But I mean, he's an HP type, so you're going to make him hit a little bit harder with these skills. I mean, that's good, right? So it does make Dark Arthur good, but it only helps when attacking light Astromons, guys. So it's very situational. This won't help him when he's attacking fire Astromons or water or wood Astromons, right? Or other dark Astromons. This only helps him when he's attacking off element light Astromons. So Dark Arthur, very situational leader skill. It's a good ultimate skill, not a leader skill, it's an ultimate skill, but it's very situational. Not useful everywhere, not useful all the time. Unlike Light Arthur, his ultimate skill is useful everywhere all the time. So when it comes to choosing a super evolution, when it comes to choosing your Arthur that you want to use, whether it's fire or light or dark, consider the ultimate skill and how much use it's going to have and whether it's going to be situational or not. Okay? So, Light Arthur. Of the 3 Arthurs, Light Arthur is the best one. Alright? Mostly because of this super skill, but also because of the other stuff too. He's just got a great kit. He's a fantastic unit. He's usable everywhere. And this ultimate skill is the most useful of the 3. Okay? So Light Arthur's the best version. Now let's go to Odin. Alright, so this is important. This is Valkyrie, by the way. Valkyrie also has a super evolution. If we look at her super evolutions, you can see those. This is okay. This is okay, not that good. And this is also okay. So, Valkyrie, not the most useful super evolutions. Also, her skill kit's just I mean, it's good, but arguably not as good as Light Arthur. So, in my opinion, Light Arthur is a better choice than any of the Valkyries. Also, Light Arthur's super evolution ultimate ability is better than any of the Valkyries. Okay, so last, let's go look at Odin, because Odin is the 3rd choice. We're in the 4 stars now. We're gonna go find Odin somewhere. Here she is. Okay, so we have a light Odin, a dark Odin, and a wood Odin. Oh, but wait, the button's missing. And this is what I was getting to, guys. This is why it's so important. I like Odin. On my previous account that I mentioned I picked Odin. What's the problem with picking Odin in the contract? She has no super evolution, guys. That's huge. This immediately means that Arthur is a better choice because he has an ultimate evolution skill. You cannot ultimate evolve your Odin. It doesn't have it yet. She needs a patch to update her to where she can get ultimate evo. But we don't know when that's happening. We don't know when that's coming. So basically, I chose the wrong unit in my contract. I chose Odin. Odin's great. Odin's a fantastic unit, right? Wood Odin's good. Wood Odin is actually arguably better than Fire Arthur or Water Valkyrie. So Wood Odin I thought was the best choice. However, she does not have a super evil. No super evolution for... And I gotta go back because I need to pull up the contract again. Stop that. Okay. There we go. I was scared it wouldn't show up for a second. So basically, of these 3, Arthur's the best choice. Arthur has the best super evolution skill for every version, better than Valkyrie. Odin does not have a super evolution skill at this time. If you're watching this video a year from now and Odin has an amazing super evolution skill, then by all means pick 3 Odin, right? Get all 3 Odins in your contract, if this contract is still the same at that time, because she has an evolution skill. But at this time, Arthur is the better choice. So, I recommend choosing Dark Arthur, Light Arthur, and Fire Arthur for your contract. But you have to do them one at a time, obviously. So each one of them is about 7 days long. So it's going to be a full month before you get all these guys. This is going to take a full month to get all of these contracts complete. That being said, you will be able to get an Evo 3 Light Arthur pretty quick. Okay, because you're going to be using these tricks. There's another trick that I still need to show you guys that will be... I'll be finished showing it to you by the end of this series. But we're playing the long game here, and we've figured some things out, right? I figured out that I chose Odin, which was the wrong choice, and I'm showing you all the reasons why Arthur is the right choice for this contract. Okay, so we're going to start by getting Fire Arthur. Alright, so just because I chose Fire Arthur doesn't actually mean I get Fire Arthur right away. I have to complete this contract. So the contract I just entered takes 7 days to complete, and at that point I get Fire Arthur. So basically I chose him, but I still don't get to use him. Now I get some really nice stuff. I got a free summon ticket, guys. I also get a free Dark Mona, which is awesome, and I'm actually going to use on this account. So you get a free Dark Mona. You also get another free 10+1 summon. So you get 2 10+1 summons, a free Dark Mona. You get another 10+1 summon here, because one 10+1 summon costs 600 Astro Gems. So this is basically a free 10+1 summon. And then you finally get Fire Arthur. And then you go into the next contract, which takes another 7 days. So anyways, I don't actually get Fire Arthur until day 7. And that's it for the contract. Let's go ahead and collect all our goodies so we can see, after less than an hour of playing, what we've got. right? I played for an hour. I finished the first story. Let's see everything I got. Come on. Quicker, faster. Sorry. Okay. So, collected all those goodies. I can do the free now. Enough time has passed. I can watch more and get more free summons if I watch more ads. I also never watched the previews for this, or not previews, but ads. So I can watch the ads to get free gold and free Astro Gems, right? So if I do that, then I'd likely have over 1,000, maybe even close to 1,200 Astro Gems, which is enough for 2 summons. Plus, I have another plus 10 plus 1 summon. So I'm going to go ahead and do all those, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I watched the videos. I got my free Astro Gems, which I got the minimum amount of 20, and then gold, I got the minimum amount of 50,000. I also got my energy. I could get more PvP tokens, but I'm not really doing a lot of PvP at the moment, so I'm not going to bother with that for now. I also want to show you over here at Bingo. Every day you complete a bingo chart. Okay, you stay online for a certain amount of time, and eventually you can get 20 bingo pieces, get these rewards over here, and then you get this reward down here at the bottom after you have been online long enough. So I click accept all. Okay, I've only received 13 out of 20, so I need to stay online maybe close to an hour to 30 minutes longer, and then I can complete this bingo and get these Astro Gems. Okay, so that's free every single day. You get Astro Gems, gold, and gems as rewards. So very worth it to be online and do your bingo. So I've still got that to complete, but that's all the free stuff, right? And I go over here and I can collect all this stuff from my mail. So very free to play friendly. I've played for less than an hour and I've already got all this free stuff. Let's go ahead and collect our 10 plus 1 summon. So with you guys, before the end of this episode, I wanted to do the 10 plus 1 summon. Let's go ahead and come in here and get that done. Yep, we're going to use the ticket. Oh, wow, we got a 4-star right off the bat. We got a Banshee, and that was the only 4-star we got. That's actually a very bad summon. Very, very bad. We got 2 Mihos, which is nice. We're going to be able to Evo 2 our Miho pretty quick. But unfortunately, that's a pretty bad summon. And the variant we got was for a monster that I don't like using. Not great. But that's okay. And I'm actually not going to use my Astro Gems. I'm going to save those up. The only summons I'm going to be doing, unless I have another choice. Hold on. It wants us to buy something. $27. No thanks. But anyways, yeah, not going to be using our Astro Gems to summon. You guys can feel free to use your Astro Gems to summon, but I'm actually going to be saving them up. And we're going to see how many I can save up as a free-to-play player. And then at the end of this video series, I will use them all at once and summon like 200, 300 monsters, okay? So we're going to save them until the end of the video series. So check this out, though. Every time you summon, look what happens. I mean, as a new player, almost every monster you summon is going to be new. So you come in here and you're going to get Astro Gems back every time you summon. It's great. I just got so many Astro Gems, and all I did was 10 plus 1 summon. Alright, so that's the end of day 1 for now. Of course, I'm going to keep playing, and I will show you guys more stuff. But we're going to call that the end of video 1, leading into video 2. However, before we end the video, I almost forgot. You want to be doing this. Come in here to your chat room. Okay, your chat box, top right, click on these 3 little dots. Come in here and go to the number 1 or number 2 chat room that's full of all these high-level players that are in the chat room all the time. Okay? So join a very full chat room, and then what you want to do is wait for people to talk, and when they talk, you can find out what level they are and whether or not it's worth having them as a friend. Alright, so this is the main team that he's got. I believe this monster in the left front is the monster that is his... Oh no, here we go. So on the top left is the monster that is his rep monster, right? The monster that you get to use because he's your friend. So he's got a Fire Miho fully enhanced level 60. If you click on it, it'll show you the stats. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it has great stats, but maybe these are not accurate for the gems. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's showing you his gems for the monster. You can see that, once he's your friend. Once he's your friend, you can actually click on the monster and you can actually see his breakdown and how good his monster actually is. But that's not accurate. That's not showing you all the correct stats and chimp stuff and whatever. So anyways, this is the rep monster and this is the team he uses for clearing content. So you can see how good his account is. I'm going to request. Friend request. Done. Click on this guy. He's level 47. He's got a Hana, a wood Hana. If you need a healer to carry you through content, sure, great. We're going to request and make him a friend if he accepts. Okay, come up here, wait for people to talk, and do the same thing. You can also just go through this list here. You can click on people from this list and do the same thing. You just go down the whole list if you want. These people are actually logged into the chat room. These people are actively playing the game. And that's important because these people are more likely to become your friend if you send them a friend request and you know what monsters they have, right? And whether they're any good. Right? So you can just keep on clicking, keep on adding. You want to be doing this starting from day one. You want to have a decent amount, I would say at least 10 to 15 friends with good monsters to carry you, because you're going to be using them on about day 2 or day 3 when you're starting to go and get to Golems 8. When you're getting your first team to Golem 8 and you're starting to clear Golem 8 for those square gems, you want to have some friends to get you through Golems 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? And it's ironic, but Golems 5, 6, and 7 are actually more difficult than Golem 8. Golem 8 is easier than a lot of the Golems before it, and that doesn't make much sense, but it's true. Okay, so you can actually clear Golem 8 with a team that you wouldn't be able to clear Golem 6, 7, or 5 with. Alright, so what you need these friends for that you're getting starting on day 1 is you need their rep monsters to carry you through those first Golem dungeons to get you to Golem 8. And that's the strategy behind that. And that's why I showed you this in the first video on day 1. It's because you need to start getting these friends to help you, not just in Golems, but also in the story mode, right? So when you're going through the story mode and you come up against these boss monsters on extreme, when you go to hard mode and then you get to extreme mode, you might get stuck on a certain monster because you don't have the right elements of monster to beat that boss. Let's say all you have are water monsters and you're fighting a wood boss. It's going to basically destroy you most of the time. So you might need a friend's monster to help you through some of the story mode and help you get some of those boss stages. So having those friends is going to be helpful through a large portion of the game in many places. So it's good to start working on getting those high level friends with their good reps starting from day 1. Alright, and that's my last tip for this video. Thank you all for watching this video series. I hope you stay for the rest of the series, and I'll see you guys in the next video.